Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, your bank account just doesn't grow? Like you're running on a financial treadmill, sweating, exhausted, but staying in the same place? You're not alone. Millions of young adults in the US are quietly falling into money traps that are designed to keep them broke. And here's the scary part. Most of these traps look completely normal, but today I'm going to expose 5 of the biggest money traps that are silently draining your wealth. And if you stick with me until the end, you'll see how avoiding just one of them could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Ready? Let's dive in. Let's start with the silent killer. Lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, and suddenly that old car doesn't feel good enough. That one-bedroom apartment? Too small. Your bank balance goes up, but so does your spending. Here's the harsh truth. If your lifestyle rises at the same speed as your income, you'll never build wealth. Think of it like pouring water into a bucket with a hole at the bottom. You'll always stay empty. Funny thing is, companies actually count on this. Ever notice how ads start targeting you differently once you move up in life? Yeah, they know you'll want to upgrade. But here's the real upgrade: learning to say no. Keep your expenses steady while your income grows, and you'll build wealth at a pace your peers can't even imagine. And speaking of peers, let's talk about how social pressure traps you financially. You've been there, right? Friends want to go out, fancy dinners, concerts, weekend trips. You don't want to be the odd one out, so you swipe that card and tell yourself, it's just this once. But let's be real, it's never just once. Here's the danger. Small social expenses pile up into huge money leaks. And the scariest part? You don't even notice until you're deep in debt. Quick pattern interrupt. Have you ever checked your bank statement and thought, wait, I spent how much on Uber Eats? Yeah, same here. Here's the truth. Real friends don't measure you by how much you spend. They measure you by who you are. And when you realize that, you'll stop buying approval and start buying freedom. But freedom slips even further away if you fall for this next trap, the one that makes banks billions every year. Credit cards, store cards, buy now, pay later apps. Sounds convenient, right? But let me paint the picture. These aren't tools, they're traps. Credit cards lure you in with rewards, but here's the kicker. That 20% interest rate, that's compounding against you. If compounding interest is the 8th wonder of the world when you're investing, it's the silent nightmare when you're in debt. Imagine buying a $1,000 laptop on credit and paying it off slowly. By the time you're done, you could have bought 2 laptops. That's how banks win, and you lose. But debt isn't the only money leak. There's another trap, and this one feels completely harmless. Let's play a quick game. How many subscriptions are you paying for right now? Netflix, Spotify, Disney Plus, Apple Music, DoorDash, Dash Pass, maybe even a gym membership you haven't used in months? Now add them up. Scary, right? Most young adults spend over $1,000 a year on unused or unnecessary subscriptions. That's money that could have gone into investments, a business idea, or your future self. Pattern interrupt. At this point, some of you are thinking, okay, but I need Netflix. And hey, I get it. Stranger Things isn't going to watch itself. But here's the secret. Keep the subscriptions you truly use daily and cut the rest. It's not about deprivation, it's about direction. And direction matters because this next trap is the reason so many people never build lasting wealth. This might be the biggest trap of all, waiting to invest. You tell yourself, I'll start when I make more money, or I'll invest once I understand it better. But here's the brutal truth. Time in the market beats timing the market. Every year you wait, you're not just losing money. You're losing decades of compounding growth. Picture this. If you start investing $200 a month at age 20, by 60, you could retire a millionaire. But if you wait until 30 to start, even if you invest double the amount, you'll end up with less. That's the cost of delay. And that's why the most dangerous money trap isn't overspending or debt, it's hesitation. Now, before I wrap this up, let me ask you, how many of these traps have you fallen into? If you recognize yourself in even one of these traps, don't panic. The point isn't to feel guilty, it's to wake up. because every financial mistake is also an opportunity to change direction. Now that you know the traps, the next step is learning how to escape them and actually grow your wealth. That's why I made another video, 5 budget hacks that actually work in 2025. It's packed with practical strategies you can use starting today.